gonna even pretend. You guys already know what time it is. Alright, you guys, so welcome back to my channel. Today we have the Sephora VIB Sale recommendations. Okay, so this is my favorite time of the year. I've actually been waiting for this sale because I have been just buying so much products and you guys know it's expensive. So I wanted to go ahead and save money, and this is a perfect time for that. If you guys are not familiar with my videos, I have done this pretty much twice every single year so far. So I will go ahead and put the playlist above. But today I want to go ahead and discuss current products that I'm currently using at this moment and loving as well. Okay, so a long list. Go ahead, get your notes ready, your pen, your paper, whatever you need, because we got a lot of products to talk about. All right, so with that being said, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's jump right into the video. So I'm first going to go ahead and start off with makeup, and in the order of how I do my makeup. So the first one I do want to talk about with you guys is a Kosas Airbrow gel. Now I have this in black and also clear, but this one, funny enough, I just stumbled across, I believe last year, and I didn't think much of it. You guys know a lot of people were talking about the Anastasia brow freeze and a lot of other products out there, but this one I feel like is a hidden gem. Okay, so when you go ahead and use this, the reason why I love it is because number one, when it comes to the pigmented one, it is pigmented, but it looks so realistic. It makes your brows super fluffy. They stay up all day and they don't feel crunchy. Okay, I hate a crunchy brow. I always say this, but I really do. I don't want to feel like, you know, I have like, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I just want it to be crunchy, pretty much is what I'm trying to say. So that's what I love about these products. And then also I do love their clear brow gel, just because sometimes I don't feel like, you know, actually filling in my brows, or I just want to set my brows. I will go ahead and use the clear one. So these two are staple. Now, moving on to eyeshadow, I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I just put bronzer in my crease and I call it a day. Okay, so all my eyeshadow palettes I still have. You can go ahead and watch my old videos to see the ones I recommend, but I don't do too much with my eyes. But one thing that did get my attention is the Urban Decay Space Cowboy Single Eyeshadow. Now, if you guys don't know about this, all right, it is like a sparkly, a little bit glittery eyeshadow. And then hopefully you guys can see the sheen on here, but it gives the most beautiful like sheen to the eyes. Okay, it is not chunky glitter, it is not like thick glitter on the eyes. It's just so nice, and it's like you can see it, but it's not like, oh my god, like what is she wearing on her eyes? It's just a nice sparkly effect that it gives, and it's so stunning. Okay, because I am super basic nowadays. I don't do too much, like I told you guys, but having something like this where I can add a little bit of something to the eyes and it just adds the most beautiful touch, the most beautiful sheen, it's really one of my favorites. So this one is definitely a hidden gem because I didn't expect much from it, but once I went ahead and used it on my eyes, I was super impressed. Now, time for primer. Okay, so when it comes to primers for the face, I am super picky, y'all, and there's only two this year that really surprised me. So the first one is the Mercier Pure Canvas Primer, and this is their blurring primer. All right, so I know on Sephora.com this has a lot of bad reviews. I don't know why. Okay, now if you have oily skin, this will go ahead and, you know, suck up all the oils, keep you super matte. I don't know if the people that are using it are dry skin, if that makes sense, because it does say it is a blurring primer, but at the same time it is a matte primer. So I think that's where the issue is for a lot of people. But if you have oily skin, this is amazing. I love it because it does have that moisturizer feel to it, which I really love when it comes to primers. I feel like when it comes like this, it makes the skin look a lot more flawless. It really hydrates the skin. It just does a lot more than your silicone-based primers. When it comes to silicone-based primers, y'all, I cannot do it. It makes me feel like I'm greasy, I'm oily. It's just not my favorite. But I love primers like these. I feel like moisturizing on the skin. And this keeps me matte for a couple hours, you guys. I want to say about 5 to 6 hours. It will keep me looking pretty good, okay? Now, the next primer I don't have in front of me because I actually ran out, but I will go ahead and put a picture for you guys. And it's an Hourglass Vanish Airbrush Primer. This stuff, y'all, is so good. It also has that moisturizer feel to it, just like the Laura Mercier one. If it just hydrates your skin, it really gives you like a nice filter on your skin. Gets rid of your pores. It's a really beautiful primer, but I noticed that I was going through it too fast, and it's about $56, I want to say. So yeah, your girl is spending a lot of money, all right? But for this sale, it is perfect because you will go ahead and save a little bit of money here and there. So I do recommend this primer. I just don't have it in front of me because I ran out earlier this year, but it is still bomb. I do recommend it. So I don't know if anybody still color corrects. All right, I still do it. I just feel like it's something I've always done and I cannot stop, okay? But I do love the Charlotte Tilbury color corrector, and I have it in the shade Tan number 3. This just has a nice texture, a beautiful color to it. I feel like a lot of color correctors out there are, you know, are a little bit too deep for the skin. They're a little bit on the red side. They're a little bit too orange, or they will go ahead and slip and slide on the face. I just don't want that, all right? This is a cream product, so you go ahead and put it on your face and it doesn't move at all. And it also covers my hyperpigmentation that I may have around my mouth or any dark spots that I may have. And I love this shade for my skin tone. I think it's perfect. It is the perfect color of orange, so shout out to Charlotte. But it's my favorite one so far. I'm trying to think if there's any other color correctors out there that I've tried. I've tried the Fenty one, and I do like it, but it's not my absolute favorite one. But I do use it as a blush. But when it comes to my all-time favorite color corrector, based on the coverage, the color, how long it stays on the skin, I will say the Charlotte one is the best one. So next up is foundation. You guys know I have one foundation that I live and die by, which I will talk about in a little bit, but there's some others that came out this year that I love as well. So I'm just gonna go in random order. All right, there's no specifics to it. Now, the first one is a Fenty Beauty Easy Drop Blurring Skin Tint, and I have this in the shade 20, and I actually have this on my skin today, okay? So actually, let me come a little bit closer. I feel like I'm so far from y'all, but this is so stunning on the skin, y'all, especially if you don't love foundation. You just want something that gives you a little bit of coverage, kind of gives you like a BB cream or CC cream type feel. This is the one for you. And I keep calling it a foundation, but it's a skin tint, but same thing, honestly. But I just love the way it looks on the skin. It is a very nice light to medium coverage. It doesn't feel heavy. It blurs everything, gives you a nice even base. And also, if you do have oily skin, y'all, I think it's amazing. So this is so surprising when it comes to Fenty because I wasn't in love with their skin items, but this one here, y'all, they killed it, okay? Now, the next Fenty one I do want to talk about is the Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r Foundation in the shade 425. Now, if y'all have watched my videos for years, you already know that I was asking, praying, and low-key begging for this foundation, and they finally came out with it, okay? So I now love it a little bit more. I feel like they changed the formula because it is not as watery as it was, you know, previously, but it just feels really nice on the skin. I love the way it blended, the way it looked. If you have oily skin, this is for you as well because it is a matte foundation. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, okay? I love this for the face, but I love this for the body a little bit more, and I will explain myself in a second. So when it comes to this foundation, it is almost like a true pigment foundation, all right? So when you go ahead and put it on your face or on your skin, it covers a lot of it, and you don't need to do too much, all right? You don't need to put a lot of product. Now, for a lot of people out there, you guys know one of my videos that still does really well to this day is where I talked about, you know, matching your foundation to your chest or your neck, all right? Now, my neck is a little bit discolored, so I love this foundation for my neck. I know it sounds so weird, y'all. I know it does, but trust me, a lot of foundations out there, you will go ahead and drag it on your neck, but it doesn't cover anything. It almost disappears. I don't know why the face and the neck act so different, but this one on the neck, it stays true to the color and it just evens everything for me, all right? So if you have that issue, I do recommend this foundation. I know it sounds crazy, but go ahead and try it out. Now, another foundation that I do use for my neck as well, I know y'all probably judge me, is the Rare Beauty foundation. This one to me is like a true pigment foundation, all right? You don't need a lot of product. It just, once you go ahead and put it on your face or on your neck or on your chest or wherever you want to put it on, it will go ahead and cover that area so nicely. So I love this one for my neck. I was using this for a long time before the new Fenty shade came out. So if you have the same issues that I do recommend these foundations because they really do act nicely on the body alongside the face. All right. Now, my favorite foundation, if you don't already know, it is the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I talk about this all the time. I use this foundation all the time. I know y'all are tired of me, but I love this stuff, okay? It is the perfect foundation. It literally can work on dry skin, oily skin, combination skin. It gives you a blurring filter effect on the skin. It lasts all day. It doesn't separate. And then on top of that, what I love about it is you can apply it on your face as much as you want and it never feels heavy or cakey. Like, it's never done me wrong. If I want a foundation out of my whole entire collection, y'all, and I do have a big collection of foundation, I always go for this because I trust it. I've seen it work in so many situations. Even when I'm sweating, y'all, yes, it may drip a little bit, but if I go ahead and tap it out, it still looks like my skin. It just works. So my favorite foundation in the whole entire world. I'll stop right now because I know y'all are probably tired of me. Now, the last foundation that I do want to mention that I don't have in front of me, and I'll explain why in a second, is the House of Labs by Lady Gaga foundation. Let's talk about it. I will go ahead and put a picture for y'all, but you guys know I did a review video on it, and then also I used it in one of my most recent videos as well. And I love this foundation, y'all. I think it's so beautiful. I think it's great for dry skin, oily skin, combination skin. It looks flawless all day. It's stunning. Even when I did my wear test, at the end of the day, I didn't look like a grease ball. So that's why I love it. And it's amazing. But the one thing for me, y'all, is I cannot find my perfect shade. I know it sounds so crazy, but I am so picky now, especially the older I get. I don't want to make a foundation work. I just want it to, be my actual shade. I'm very picky now, like to the T. So yeah, it's the only foundation that matches me perfectly that I use on my face. Is the Dior foundation and the Fenty one. These two match me perfectly. All right. Now, this one, I will go ahead and do a little bit more tests. I did try 2 shades you guys saw, and they both still look good on my skin. Don't get me wrong. But I need to find my perfect shade. That's the only issue. Otherwise, I would have it for y'all today. But if you do have it, you guys know how amazing this foundation is. I highly recommend, and it's honestly one of those foundations that surprised me this year. And honestly, it's one of those foundations that surprised me this year because I've seen it, I heard about it, but till you try it, you just don't realize how bomb it is. So I really do recommend that one. I wish I had it in front of me, but we'll figure it out. Now let's go ahead and move on to concealer. So for about a couple years now, my favorite concealer in the whole entire world has been the Pat McGrath Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer, and it's still my favorite concealer, don't get me wrong, but this stuff is amazing, okay? It makes your skin, your under eye, look so flawless, so smooth, so buttery. I just cannot get enough of it. And even when I do clients' makeup, especially for weddings, I go ahead and use this, and every single time people are like, oh my god, what is that? Tell me right now. I need to go ahead and get it. I'm like, it's this concealer. It has something in here, okay? I don't know, but it's so good. All right, so you guys already know about this, right? Now, this year, I also went ahead and tried the Charlotte Tilbury Beautiful Skin Radiant Concealer. I honestly didn't expect much from it. I was just like, let me go ahead and try it out because I love Miss Charlotte. I use most of her products, you guys already know. So I was like, let me just go try it out. Y'all, I feel like this, if they can even be a dupe, because they're both high end, so it's not a dupe, but they are so similar, okay? They both have the same gel-like texture. They both blend out perfectly. They both make your under eyes look so blurred, filtered, perfect. I'm just like, y'all are basically the same concealer, all right? So that's really why I love this, because it reminds me so much of the Pat McGrath concealer. So if you're in the hunt for a new concealer and you don't know which one to pick, you cannot go wrong with either one of these. But go ahead, Test it out. Let me know your thoughts down below, because I'm pretty sure y'all are gonna love these two. So let's see. Now we're gonna move on to the under eyes. Of course, to set the under eyes. I have 3 powders that I do want to mention. The first one is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake powder, the loose powder in the shade Kanafa. Do I even have to talk about this? If you watch my videos, you already know. I've been using this for like 3 years now. It's crazy. It is my favorite loose powder out there. I just think it does what it needs to do from the under eyes. It sets everything really nicely. It keeps me matte all day. It makes me look flawless. It brightens my under eyes. It is the perfect color for my skin tone. For the longest, I feel like when it came to yellow powders, a lot of them were super ashy. This is the perfect color for my skin tone and a lot of people as well. So I recommend this. I love this. I don't want to say too much because you guys have heard about this 5 million times at this point, but it's amazing. I love it. Okay. Now, alongside that, I also do love the Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I do have this in the yellow version as well. But I love this for my clients, okay? Because I notice whenever I do makeup on people, you know, with the Huda one, that's for a specific skin tone. But if you want a nice, just all around translucent powder, the Laura Mercier one is the best. It works on dark skin tones, light skin tones, you know, people that are, you know, white, whatever your skin tone is, it works for every single person out there. And it's never failed me, and it doesn't give flashback, okay? That is the biggest thing. So this is also one of my faves. And then the last one that I did use this year is a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Brightening Flawless Finish Complexion Perfecting Eye and Face Micro Powder. I believe is what it says. I kind of scratched it off. But this one is so good. Okay, I don't really use pressed powders for my under eyes. I'm really picky with my under eyes, but this one gives that brightening effect. Okay, whenever I see pictures on Instagram, I always notice that people's under eyes are a little bit lighter, like right here, and it always looks so flawless. So this gives you the same effect. It does come in 2 shades, and what I love about this is it never looks cakey underneath my eyes. It just elevates what you already have underneath your eyes. So how this works is you go ahead and use your favorite loose powder, put it underneath your eyes, bake, set it, whatever you do, and then you use this as a last step to brighten it. So they kind of work hand in hand, but I have been loving this, y'all, so much. Like, Charlotte, like, what is there to say? You're bomb. I love you. Now, this next category, nobody's touching them. It has been the same for about 3 years now, okay? It just, nobody, all right? So one of them that I do want to mention when it comes to face powders for the actual face, okay? I love the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. Now, I do want to open this, but I did break it, y'all, so I can't really show you what it looks like, all right? Hopefully y'all can see that. But this is what it looks like up close, and I just love this powder as a translucent powder. To me, it is a perfect touch-up powder throughout the day. I don't like to use my actual pressed powder, like my colored one, on my face constantly throughout the day. I feel like it's just going to take away from looking very natural and skin-like. So I do go ahead and use the all-nighter one, and it just looks flawless every single time, okay? My favorite. And I use this so many different ways. I use this to touch up my under eyes, my face. I also use it to set my lids before I go ahead and apply eyeshadow, things like that. It's just an all-around great powder. I'm obsessed with it. I love it, okay? Now, when it comes to my actual face powder, all right, my favorite, you guys already know, is the Mega Forever Matte Velvet Skin Blur Powder Foundation. I use this in the shade Y505. It is the best pressed powder out there, okay? Nobody's touching it, all right? I've talked about this every single year. I probably went through, not even trying to lie to you guys, maybe 10 of these because I use this every single time. And what I love about this is you don't just have to wear it alongside your liquid foundation. You can wear this by itself. And funny enough, this powder foundation, I get more compliments, y'all, when I just wear this powder by itself than when I wear a liquid foundation. I hope that makes sense. So whenever I wear a liquid foundation, like, I get compliments, all right, you know, whatever. But when I wear this by itself, every single time people are like, what do you have on your face? What do you have on your skin? And I'm just like, it is just powder. Like, it's crazy to say. So I recommend this, y'all. I rave about it. It is just a staple in my collection. And Honestly, it's one of those makeup products that I cannot live without because it's just that good. All right, now moving on to the bronzer category. Okay, I have a couple faves in here. So let's go ahead and talk about cream bronzer. So the first one I do want to mention is the Hourglass foundation in the shade Espresso. And I know what you guys are probably thinking, like, Chi-Chi, it's a foundation, it's not a bronzer. But you know, the cool part about foundation is it's multi-purpose. It's not just for one thing, honestly, in my head, especially stick foundations. And I also believe that Hourglass marketed this as a foundation, a concealer, and also a contour or bronzer as well. So it has a lot of purpose to it. But what I love about it, number one, is the shape. It does have like a triangle head to it. So it makes it super easy to go ahead and apply on the face or directly underneath your eyes, whatever you need to do. This works perfectly for that. But what I love about this is how seamless it looks on the skin. So I do have it on today as a contour or bronzer, and it just blends so nicely into the skin like butter, and it doesn't get greasy on the face. Okay, there's some cream bronzers out there I will go ahead and then check later on in the mirror and it looks super just glowy and all of that. I just want a nice, just creamy matte effect on my face. Okay, and this is what this gives me. It just gives me a very nice, beautiful, just bronzy glow to the skin. I'm obsessed with it. All right, now the next one I do want to mention is a Tower 28 Bronzino Illuminating Bronzer. So when I first saw this, y'all, I was so confused. I was like, it's not a straight up bronzer because it has a little bit of shimmer in there. Like, what is this? So how I use this is pretty much as a topper. I will go ahead and apply, let's say, like my powder bronzer. And let's say it's looking a little flat that day. I want to add a little bit more to it. I will go ahead and take my sponge, dab it in here, and then tap it on top of the bronzer, and it adds a nice glowy effect to it. All right, so in case you are wondering what it looks like, this is the color of it. I will go ahead and swatch it for you guys, but it almost has like a orange tint to it, but I think it's so stunning on the cheeks. Now, my favorite bronzer of all time is a Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush bronzer. I have this in the shade Tan number 3. I feel like Charlotte just dominates. Okay, you guys notice I mentioned her product in almost every single category, but it's so good. All right, so this is what it looks like. And the reason why I love this is because it doesn't make it look like you're wearing bronzer. And I know it's so confusing, but it looks like you went to the beach and you got a little bit of color to you, but it looks so natural, so airbrush. And also you have to take your time with this bronzer. All right, like when you go ahead and swivel the first bit of it onto your skin, you're like, where is it? Like, I can't see it, right? Because you got to take your time and build it up. And I love that about it because that's what makes it look so natural on the face, because it does take time to build up. But I love this. I think it is the best bronzer out there. I believe she came out with a couple more shades because back in the day, y'all, this was the darkest one and it's not even dark. So I believe she came out with maybe 1 or 2 more that's a little bit darker, thank God. But if you haven't had the chance to go ahead and grab this, I do recommend it. And I know it's super expensive, but what I like about it is refillable. So once I go ahead and run out of it, I will push this out and then buy the refill, which is a little bit cheaper, thank God. Now, the last bronzer I do have is the Hoola Toasted Benefit Bronzer. And when I first got this years ago, y'all, I did not love this for my face. It was way too dark. And I know you guys are probably like, nah, Chi-Chi, like, let's be for real. No, in here, it doesn't look dark, but when you go ahead and swatch it, it is dark, y'all. It is so dark. It almost gives you like a contour look on your face, okay? But I love this for contouring my nose. I used to use like regular bronzers like this to contour my nose, and it just wasn't given. Like, I would go ahead and do all the work and I look in the mirror like, do I see anything? I'm so confused, right? Because you need to use more of a contour shade. So this one for me is the perfect contour when it comes to my nose, and I have it on today. And yeah, you can tell like my nose is contoured, but it doesn't look like, oh my God, like she has 2 lines coming down her nose. So it doesn't look crazy, all right? But I just love how it just does, like, it just frames the face really nicely. So if you want to use this for your nose, for your cheeks, for your, you know, eyelids, whatever you want, it will contour it really nicely. So time for my favorite part of makeup. All right, if you guys don't know, I love blush. I love blush so much, y'all. I will walk out this house looking like a clown and not even care because I just love the way it looks on the face, okay? So I have a lot to talk about. Go ahead and get ready. We're gonna start off with liquids. Liquid blushes to be exact. So the first one I do wanna mention is the Danessa Myricks Color Fix Mattes blushes. And this is in the shade Latte and also Carrot Top. Okay, so this is the two shades right here. Absolutely stunning. I'm not going to swatch all of them for you guys, but these two I will because I love them for the color. I think it's super pigmented. But in case you guys aren't aware, you can use this for your cheek, your lids, whatever you want. There's no rules when it comes to her makeup products. So this is what it looks like for reference. These two shades, I think they're so beautiful. And what I love about this is they're super pigmented. So you go ahead and put it on your face. Make sure you start off with a little, y'all, because don't do what I did. It went bad. It went left. So take a little bit, blend it onto the back of your hand, and then apply it on your face, okay? Do not apply it directly on your face because I'm telling y'all, you're going to make the same mistake that I did. Now, the only con about this, I will say, is it dries down so fast. So you have to make sure you work really fast and blend it onto your skin. But once you do that and it sets, it is not moving. It is locked in all day. So now moving on to the next liquid blush, I do have the Rare Beauty Soft Pinch liquid blush. And I do have multiple of these, y'all. I just want to show you guys one today for reference. But these blushes are amazing because number one, the packaging, all right? It is so easy to work with. And also for those who don't know, I do love their doe foot applicator. I feel like it is just so easy to work with. You can go ahead and swipe it on your face. Just dot it if you need to. I really love the applicator. I think it's probably my favorite part out of everything. But these are just so nice. I feel like when she first came out with her products, nobody expected much. They were saying that, oh, another celebrity is coming out with makeup products, but she outdid herself. This is probably one of the top blushes out there because of how blendable it is on the face, how creamy it is, how pigmented, how it lasts a long time. I swear these will never run out because it just doesn't stop. Like every single time I think it's done, I go ahead, it's a little bit more. But it's so good, y'all. I think Selena honestly killed this because it is just beautiful on the face. If you haven't tried these out, you're definitely missing out. Now moving on to cream blushes. The first one I do want to mention specifically is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek Swerve Cream Blush. Now this one I do want to mention the shade because I love this shade so much. This is do I even have any part of my body left to swatch? But this is a very beautiful orange blush. And it's so creamy. It has a very nice just glow to this. And I do have it on my face today in case you guys are wondering. But I did go ahead and put it all over right here. A little bit underneath my nose. But I love this when it comes to the face. Especially for my skin tone because it kind of amplifies your bronzer. It adds a little bit of that orange touch to it, and it just looks so natural. It's almost like you're not wearing blush. Like if I didn't tell you guys, you probably thought it was just bronzer that looks glowy, but it just adds something to your bronzer, and I love the way it looks every single time. So this I recommend. It is so tiny. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but I hope it wasn't expensive because y'all will come for me, all right? The next one I do want to mention, of course, is the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Cream Blushes. I feel like this was the game changer for the blush industry. When she came out with this, all of those then came out, all right? But I love the Cheeks Out blushes. I have so many of them, but I'm just going to show you guys one today. But I just love how creamy they are. I love how blendable they are and how pigmented they are. I do go ahead and use a sponge, dab it in here, and then dab it on my face. And it works great every single time. So I love that. And then, of course, we got my pressed blushes. So these are all orange, of course. If you guys can tell, I love an orange blush. It is my absolute favorite. So we're gonna go through these really quickly. The next one is the Benefit Butterfly Pressed Blush. Now, this one really shocked me because I did not expect this from Benefit. I'm so used to like their blushes, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, y'all. I love some of their products, but some of their stuff were just ashy. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, Benefit, you guys coming through with the pigmented blushes, all right? I really need to go ahead and get a napkin because I'm just running out of space. So I hope y'all can see this on camera, but it's more of a shimmer blush. You guys can see that on camera. It has more of a shimmer to it, but it's so stunning on the face. Sometimes if I want to be super glowy, I will go ahead and take this all over my cheeks, and it just looks so beautiful, you guys. I wish I did it today for y'all. Let me go ahead and grab a brush real quick and do this. So I'm just going to take this right here and just tap it. Ooh, I did too much. But it just adds a beautiful touch to the face. And how I wear my blushes nowadays, I go ahead and apply a cream blush first, and then to set it, I will go ahead and use a pressed blush. So this one is stunning. You guys can see it just added a little bit more just glow to my cheeks. So the next one I do have is a NARS Exhibit A blush, and honestly, I'm looking mad at y'all, but let me be mad at myself first, because number one, this is nothing new, all right? I just didn't know it was that good. So I went into Sephora one day and picked it up. I was like, why haven't y'all recommended this to me? Why didn't you guys tell me about this? Okay, because a girl is missing out for years. I just got this year, but it is so pigmented. Like, it is so pigmented, you guys, and it's just so beautiful and stunning on the cheeks. Every time I wear this, people always ask what I have, and 9 times out of 10, it's probably this blush right here, but it is so good, all right? I know I'm late to the game, but better late than never. And then, of course, my OG is a Make It Forever blush. I believe this is the shade B402. I will go ahead and put it down below just in case I'm wrong, but this is a beautiful orange blush. Compared to the NARS one, like, I know it looks completely different. The NARS one is more on the red side, like a reddish orange blush, and this is more so of like a true orange peachy blush, okay? But nonetheless, before I tried all these new products, y'all, this one held me down for years. It's such an OG product. I used to be obsessed with it and wear it every single day. Now I wear it here and there because there's so many just bomb blushes that have came out. So this is still my OG. I still love it. I still rock with it. Yeah, it's beautiful. Now I do want to go ahead and talk about highlighters, you guys. Usually when it comes to highlighters, I'm very picky. I only use cream highlighters nowadays, and I don't have the biggest collection, but I do have some staples, all right? So the two that I want to mention, one of them is the Merit Beauty Bounce Cream Highlighter. This is your highlighting balm, to be exact. Completely ran out of this, and I believe I have this in my cart, y'all, but this is so stunning. So let me go ahead and swatch some of it for you. But the reason why I like this, okay, I hope y'all can see this on camera, is because it's just a beautiful sheen to the face. I truly love highlighters that just look wet on the skin, that look like you're low-key sweating a little bit, you know what I mean? But I just love highlighters that don't sit on the skin, that just blend right in and give you a little bit of glow, all right? And speaking of highlighter, I just noticed, y'all, I didn't apply any. Oh my Lord. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys the application of the next one that I'm going to talk about. But this just gives a beautiful sheen to the face. It is absolutely stunning. I love how just glowy it makes your skin look. It is absolutely beautiful. So Merit Beauty has a lot of my favorite products out there. Go ahead and check this one out. It's one of my faves. Now, the next one I do want to mention is a Danessa Myricks Beauty Dew Wet Highlighter in the shade Hot Water. Now, this is a straight up cream product, okay? You guys can see I have a little bit of a dent going on in here, but this gives the same effect as the Merit Beauty one. It just gives you a wet look on your face, and that is my favorite type of highlighter nowadays. And that look-y rod. Wait. So what I'm gonna do actually to show you guys what it looks like on the skin, and I typically use it with a sponge, but we're gonna improvise today, okay? So I'm gonna tap this a little bit on my nose, just like that. And then just tap this a little bit on the skin. I never use it with my hand, y'all, so I'm low-key scared. But it's blending so nicely. Just the hands. And then same for the other side. But yeah, a little bit goes a long way, you guys, with this. Like, you don't need too much, and it just looks so natural on the face. But if you're on the hunt for like a cream highlighter that just looks wet, then go ahead and pick up these two. Trust me, you will not regret it. So we only have 2 more categories left when it comes to makeup, and then we're gonna move on to skincare and then perfume. All right, so the next product I do want to mention is setting spray, and the only one I rave about on my channel is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. Their party all night, stay all day setting spray. I love this stuff, okay? I used to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, you know, years ago, and that's still really good, but there's something about this. I don't know what is in here, y'all, but it's so good. You go ahead and spray it on your face, and it locks your makeup in. And you can just trust that your makeup is not moving all day. It's staying put. It's going to look flawless, keep you matte, all of that. This is just the best. I don't know what you have in here, Charlotte, but it's so good. Now, the last makeup item I do want to talk about is the Merit Beauty lip oils. Now, when it comes to lip products, y'all, okay, I have a lot, but this is the only thing that stood out to me all year. And this is their lip oil. The reason why I like this is because number one, it hydrates your lips, of course. It's glossy. It adds some color to it, but I love the skincare benefit of it as well. It's almost like a lip treatment also. So it's like a 2-in-1, which I'm obsessed with. And I have the shades Sangria, Taupe, and Mercier. So I will go ahead and swatch them for you guys. But this one is called Mercier. Probably the one that I wear the most because it has like that pinky undertone to it, and you guys can see how glossy this looks. But keep in mind, it is a lip oil. The next one I do want to mention is in the shade Sangria. This is more of a red lip oil, and I just wear this by itself, you guys. I go ahead and line my lips a little bit, but then I throw this on top, and it just looks so nice, and it's so pigmented. So this right here is Sangria. Woo! I love this one, y'all. Obsessed. All right. And the last one I do want to mention is in the shade Taupe. This is more of a brownie pinky color. But if you go ahead and pair this with a dark lip liner, y'all, game changer. Okay. So hopefully it stands out on my skin tone. But you can see what this looks like. It is just so beautiful. But these are all 3 of the colors. I am telling you guys right now, go ahead and pick them up. You would not regret it. And this is not sponsored. Like, I genuinely bought these by myself. I know I work with them, but these are that good. I bought all 3 of these by myself. Okay, so now moving on to my favorite category, honestly, it is skincare. Because I always tell you guys in every single video, if you take care of your skin, your makeup is going to look that much better. All right? Trust me. So I do have a couple favorites, and I don't really use too much products, y'all. I keep it pretty simple. So the first one I do want to mention is the You to the People Kale plus Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser. And this is what it looks like. But nonetheless, you guys, the reason why I like this is because it doesn't strip your skin of its moisture. A lot of cleansers out there, once you go ahead and wash your face, your skin feels super dry. It just doesn't feel like you cleaned, you know, every single thing off your skin. So with this, it's just a little bit different because every single time I wash my face, it still feels hydrated, but then also it feels like my skin is really clean, which I love. And it has a lot of great ingredients in here. So I always go ahead and repurchase this. I have the mini size right here, but I do want to go ahead and get the big one. All right, so for toners, I do have 3 that I do want to mention to you guys. So the first one is the Ren Ready Steady Glow Daily AHA Tonic Toner. Now this I have used for years, y'all, years, and it never fails me. I feel like it does something to your skin, and I can't describe it. Literally, when you go ahead and incorporate it into your routine, you notice that your skin looks a lot more brighter, a lot more cleaner. You have less breakouts. It just does so much more. And when it comes to toners, like, I never really thought they made a difference back in the day. I was just like, you go ahead, you wash your face, put some moisturizer, and call it a day. But if you put a toner in your routine, I'm telling you guys, it will change your life. So if you're looking for a good one that has a lot of AHAs in there, then you'll love this toner. Now, the next toner I do want to mention is the Fenty Skin Fat Water Hydrated Milky Toner Essence. This one, I was not expecting it, y'all. I'm just going to keep it honest with y'all. Because I use the original Fat Water one and I like it, you know, the regular, you know, toner. But there's something about milky toners I cannot explain to you guys. They really change your skin for the better. Because when you go ahead and wash your face, right? I then go ahead and use a toner and I just put it into my hands and rub it all over my face. If you wait a couple minutes and look at your skin again, it looks like you have a filter on it. I don't know how it does it, but it's not just this one. I also use a Thayer's hydrating toner. I think that's what it's called. Their milky toner. I can't remember the name of it, but that one too as well. Something about milky toners, it just makes your skin look filtered, super plump and hydrated. I was like, all right, this is something I need to keep in my routine. So if you want the same effects that I've been seeing on my skin, y'all, go ahead and grab this. It is bomb. And it has a lot of great ingredients in here as well. Now, the next toner that I feel like every single person and their mother talks about is the Ordinary Glycolic Acid 7% Toning Solution. Now, this people use for their face, their knees, their underarms, shoot, maybe even their butt, their neck. Like, they use it for every single thing out there because it helps to get rid of hyperpigmentation. All right, so I've been using this for my underarms and my neck and also my face, and I've been seeing improvements, you guys. And the crazy part about it is the Ordinary is so cheap. Like, it's so cheap that you don't expect much from it, but every single time they really do impress me because, like, how are you so cheap but like you're really good, almost better than some high-end products out there? It makes no sense to me. But this stuff, if you're looking to get rid of hyperpigmentation, then you will love this toner, okay? Now, moving on to moisturizers, I do have the Superfood Air Whip Moisture Cream from You to the People, and this has kale, spinach, and hyaluronic acid. So for me, because I'm oily, I used to think that I don't need a moisturizer, but you do, all right? The more you hydrate your skin as an oily person, it will go ahead and balance moving forward. That way you're not so oily, all right? So I'm not really picky when it comes to moisturizers, but this one was a really good one. I think the name Air Whip got me because every time I put it on, I just felt like, you know, I was doing something. But it really does hydrate your skin, and I completely ran out, you guys. I do need to get another one in case you're wondering, like, Chi-Chi, there's nothing in here. But it hydrates your skin, it keeps you moisturized, and really does balance my skin as well, because I do get super oily, you guys, sometimes. But I noticed that when I started using moisturizers and, you know, milky toners as well, my skin is completely balanced and I don't get as, you know, greasy towards the end of the day. Now, for serums, I do have two that I do want to mention from The Ordinary. I have been using this for years now. It's crazy. So I love The Ordinary Niacinamide 10% plus zinc 1%. This helps to get rid of hyperpigmentation on the face and just make everything look super even. So I always have to use this serum. And then also on top of that, I use The Ordinary Alpha Abutin 2% plus HA serum as well. This helps to get rid of hyperpigmentation. So I kind of just focus on taking care of my skin, because back in the day, y'all, just to be honest, I felt like I had to wear makeup every time I left my house. Nowadays, I apply a little bit of concealer, but my skin itself is just so improved because I took care of all the dark, you know, spots, hyperpigmentation, all of that I had over the years, because I used to break out a lot and then pick at my skin and they all scarred. Nowadays, y'all, I really don't have much dark marks on the face. And honestly, it's because I do use a lot of products that brighten my skin, get rid of pigmentation, all of that. So these two are good for that. So another serum that I do want to mention that I rave about, that I'm obsessed with, is the Peace Out Acne Serum. This has 2% salicylic acid and niacinamide and zinc. Now, I know I've said this for a couple products, but truly, y'all, I don't know what is in here, because this product to me, it does some magic on my face. And let me explain. So if I ever wake up, right, or I notice that I have a lot of congestion on my skin, whether it's like rash, you know, typically it's on my forehead, or a major cluster of breakouts, whatever it is, I will go ahead and put this and go to sleep knowing that when I wake up the next day, it is gone. I don't know why. I don't know what it does, but this stuff is so good and it makes no sense. So just to make sure I, tell you guys exactly how it works, it's for like when you have like a rash on your skin or congestion, like you can see like mini bumps all over your skin. And just to make sure we're on the same page, you guys, I don't really use this for like big bumps or big like pimples on my face. I feel like it may work, but I never really use it for that. I just use this when I know like I can see many bumps underneath my skin, on my chin, whatever it is, like clusters. I go ahead and put this on and it's just gone the next day. So last night, actually on my forehead, y'all, I had a lot of congestion going on and I just put this all over. I was like, listen, I don't got time. But when I woke up this morning, majority of it was gone. Okay, so I love this stuff. I always have to have it in my rotation because it really is a lifesaver. Okay, so now I want to move on to exfoliating products. So I have two that I want to mention. The first one is the Peter Thomas Roth Firm X Peeling Gel, and you guys know I've talked about this on my channel before, but this stuff is amazing because it is not a physical exfoliator where you feel like grittiness on your face. It's more like a gel, literally what it says. It's a gel, but once you go ahead and roll this all over your face, it just removes dead skin, just things that you didn't even know were on your face in the first place. All right, so you go ahead and just rub this, and then you start seeing like dead skin falling off. I know it sounds gross, but trust me, it works. All right, so this is one of my favorites, and the next one is from You to the People. I have their Airbrow Matte Resurfacing Energy Facial. This is their instant microdermabrasion enzyme treatment. So this one I actually saw in Sephora, and the lady showed me how it worked. So what she did was she went ahead and took some of this onto the back of my hand, and then she scrubbed it for 2 minutes, right? And I think she let it set for like a couple seconds, and then she was like, go ahead and wash it off. I was like, okay. So I washed it off, and then I looked at my skin. Tell me why it looked so much brighter. Like that section of my skin looked a lot brighter than the rest of my hand. I was like, okay, I see what you did there. So if you're looking to brighten your skin, get rid of, dead skin, things like that, but mostly for brightening purposes, I do recommend this because it is amazing, and it's not a physical exfoliator. Like it doesn't have like chunks of like sugar or whatever people use nowadays in their exfoliator. It doesn't have any of that. It's very finely milled. You can just go ahead and just graze it on your skin nicely, and it will do the rest. All right, this stuff is really, really good. Okay, so you guys know that I love me a good face mask, but I only have 2 in rotation. That is so sad. I need to get more. The first one is the Innisfree Pore Clearing Clay Mask. This has 2 times the super volcanic clusters in there, but there's no clusters, y'all. It's just a smooth mask. I don't know where the clusters come in effect, but nonetheless, y'all, I love this. It is a nice mask. And what I love about this is how affordable it is, and how much effort and work it does for your skin. All right, so when you see something like this that's super affordable, you don't think much of it, but I went ahead and put it on my face. It just really dries down nicely. It pulls everything out of your skin. You go ahead and wash it out, and your skin just feels super refreshed. Okay, so if you're looking for a good pore clearing mask, I do recommend this. And that's all I have when it comes to masks, y'all. I have one more to mention, but if there's other masks out there that you swear by, that you really love, that you've seen a difference, let me know down below, because I need to up my game. All right. Now, when it comes to my skin being super dry, especially right now with the fall time and winter time coming, I love the Summer Friday, Jet Lag Mask. This is so good. Oh my God. So whenever my skin starts to get super flaky, and it's typically around my forehead and on my nose, I will go ahead and apply this at night, and then wake up the next day with super just hydrated moisturized skin. It does a lot more work than your typical moisturizer. Like, this is an actual mask. So when you go ahead and put it on your face, it really hydrates it a lot. And I also love this before I take off on the plane, because when you're in the plane, I feel like it dries your skin out, or it does something to you. So I like to, you know, kind of up my skincare at that point before I do take off. Okay. And in case you are wondering what it looks like, it's kind of like a moisturizer is what it looks like. So you just apply this all over and just let it sit on your skin. And I know you can kind of wipe this off with a rag if you don't want it to stay on all day, but I just let it sit on my skin because we don't waste product around here. And of course, I do not like choppy lips, all right? I feel like, you know, it is 2022. Nobody's lips should be crusty. I'm tired. So the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask, baby, if you don't have this, go ahead and pick it up. All right, they have different flavors, scents, colors, whatever you need. They have something for you, so there's no excuse. And I know back in the day when I used to see the $20 price tag for Laneige, I was like, oh my God, why is it so expensive? But I'll tell you why. It really hydrates your lips, y'all. Keeps it moisturized, keeps it soft, keeps it plump, keeps it bouncy. It just does everything it needs to do and more. Okay, so go ahead and get this, and I feel like it never runs out. I've had multiple Laneige lip sleeping masks all over my house, and none of them ever run out, ever. Maybe because I have too much. It's probably the reason why. So wow, last but not least, I cannot believe we made it through, y'all. Oh my God. Wow, last but not least, we do have fragrance, and I only have 2 to mention because, y'all, I've noticed that I'm super picky when it comes to fragrance, but I love a good woody musk, just almost like low-key smell like a man type situation. Perfume. I love like that burnt smell perfume, burnt marshmallow, burnt something burnt. I just love like a musk scent on my body, and it's hard to find a lot of perfumes out there like that. Okay, so the first one I do want to mention is the Replica by the Fireplace perfume. This is my favorite, you guys. Like, if you cannot tell, okay, I use this all the time, and it is perfect for the fall time. I feel like it's perfect for the fall time, winter time, but honestly, you guys, I wear it in the spring, the summer, I don't care. It is so good. But I just love the way this smells on my body. It reminds me of just marshmallow, bonfire, just everything. I just love the scent. It really calms me down and just makes me like happy. Let me spray this all over again. Ooh. Yeah, it's top tier. Like, y'all can just tell, like, I just kind of zone out every time I smell this. It just smells so good. I love the way it smells. It just reminds me of fall and winter. It is just such an OG scent. If you haven't tried this, I'm telling you guys, like, not trying to be funny, it is probably the best perfume out there to me. Okay, I know there's probably better ones out there, but this one is so good. And the last perfume I do have as well is from Replica, of course, and I have their coffee break perfume. This smells like a coffee shop, like a warm, inviting coffee shop with a little bit of like sweetness to it. It is just so stunning how they do their perfumes. Like, every time like they go ahead and put the name on there and you smell it, it makes sense. Like, it just matches it perfectly. So I didn't think I would like coffee sprayed all over me, but it's not straight up coffee, y'all. It is a very sweet coffee, like a coffee shop. It just smells so good. I love it. Obsessed. So these 2 I love and I recommend for the sale because they are pretty pricey. I believe they're about like $125, I want to say. But they're totally worth it. So yes. Wow, you guys, we made it. Whenever I see everything in front of me, I'm just like, wow, I'm going to be talking for a long time, which I am. But I really do hope this video helped you guys kind of like figure out what you want to pick up on the sale. And of course, you guys know, like always, let me know down below what you recommend for me because I'm building my cart as well. So I want to pick some really great fun items that I haven't tried, you know, at all. So let me know down below. But before you leave, of course, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next one.